So hopefully frame this shot up. Bounce my camera around. Back is tight and sore. Back is tight and sore. Instead of lighting too, don't I? Yes, okay. So, I wish we could do like Tattooed Monkey and talk in the beginning and set up the video at the same time. Yeah, the YouTube idols. Idols, but he teaches me photography. It's because he really just doesn't give a fuck. He's uber smart. I thought I was smart. So I started seeing him on there, and I was like, oh, man. Our brain's 10 times the size of mine. And I do mean 10 times the size of mine. He is smart. Tattooed Monkey. Hey, it worked for once. See? As I said, he's smart. He teaches well, too. This lens on this camera is one of his long-time reviews. Hey, I guess I just gave a shout out. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, I would know nothing about Tokina. Look them up. Yeah, so I guess I did just start my video. Kinda. Just like him then, finally. So, I have a complaint about a company named Purolator, right? Right? And it's more than a complaint. It's more or less an accusation at this point that is factual. So, for the record, as we all do that y'all don't seem to realize, because I don't need to sue them, it's just more or less, you don't need to do business with them. No one. Because this is the customer service that they provide. Which is, in my estimation, I'll just say, in my humble estimation of customer service, which can be taken to mean a little bit of something, because I once was a customer service manager in plenty of companies for Sprint, and as large as Sprint, I'll say, as large as Microsoft for tech support, at a company called SoftBank, as a lot of people realize. They did customer service for everybody. But I worked for them in college with my stutter. It's how I helped get past it. So, basically, I understand how customer service is supposed to work. And not from what it's supposed to work. Even when it breaks down, I'm normally the one that can at least negotiate with that customer service agent, because of they trained me for customer service. So when I choose to use these customer service skills, they're good, is what I'll say. So, and not to brag or anything, but I normally can get done what I want to get done, and it doesn't take 4 or 5 calls, 2 hours, whatever. I tend to pride myself on that, and normally done other people's calls because of this fact. Because normally I know I can get it done in no more than 20, 25 minutes. And half of that is normally a hold. Which means I'm only on that call for no more than 12 minutes with that person. Which in phone time is a long time. Okay? So, this company has done nothing but lose a shipping item that is, I don't know whether or not to say if it's them or UPS. Because they're an international shipping company that at the beginning of this review was supposed to be a review for a vaporizer that I was getting because I love my marijuana. And basically, to hide your marijuana, it's best to use a vaporizer. The old one I had was getting a little cruddy, it built up a little oil, and it wasn't a convection vape. So it in fact was burning the weed, is what I didn't realize, is what a friend explained to me. So, I pony up the money for a new vape, right? And things ain't cheap. Okay, the average one was like $200. Okay, and they look just like this. Okay, they're teeny. Okay, or you can get a desktop one, still $200, but teeny. And so, this 1 pound item that is now being shipped through UPS's hands, I presume, and they presume, to be lost as of today. Now, the company Purolator, I have to review as just being incompetent, because they aren't still willing to even hear the fact that it's stolen, and their customer service on top of it is 10 times worse, and that is the bulk of the video, because I have chats where they're confirming it's delivered and dropped off, and all kinds of dumb stuff. I mean, like, dumb shit. Should no customer service agent ever say to put themselves in a position for, because basically if I wanted to sue them, I can. And I would win. It's just not worth it. And basically, don't do business with them at all because of this. Now, UPS, on the other hand, has at least admitted to it being lost and done what a respectable company should have, and basically said, we file a claim. And that's it. It's no big deal. Because I get my money back, they get their money back, and Purolator would eventually get their money back, but they're now, because I'm going to give this to UPS. Because this is just what it is. Like, you can't steal money from folks, do wrong, and then get right out of a situation. So, from their customer service, I'm upset. Now, with UPS, I have another issue. And basically, I think a driver is stealing my stuff. Because I have two separate things. I bought a laptop from Lavino, and it was scheduled to be delivered on the exact same truck as this other item. And the other item now was the day beforehand and then scheduled today. And then it made it literally, I saw it come to the city I live in Charlotte. And literally, at that point at about 9 in the morning, it stopped moving. The same as the other item the day before. So I'm like, okay, well now this isn't Purolator now, this is UPS. I'm looking at it on their site. And UPS is like, well, no, just give it a day. It's the same thing they said yesterday. And I'm like, why would I give it a day if obviously the driver's stealing my shit? Like, it's obviously the driver. Like, it's change of address on both of the things. The other thing's an international shipping, and Purolator fixed it first, which was my main complaint, thinking that they were incompetent. But they were incompetent to the point of not passing through transparency of the fact that they did their last mile at the international border, which is what I figured out. Because that was the last time that basically they had American dealings. Like, it's American. So they dropped it off at the border, probably at either around in Buffalo. Like, and that's just what it was. And then UPS took the item from there to Ohio, which I'll show in all the tracking information because I have to put all this into, I'm going to be editing the hell out of this video because I had one before it. So I might have to delete that one and then incorporate it with the one I shot yesterday. That's just insane. But basically, they smushed it all together and then lied about where it was. No, well, not them. See, now I'm getting confused. See, I need to fix that in editing. Cut. No, I'm not going to cut. I'm just going to let y'all see that fuck up and just, it is what it is. They have me stressed. Because of, the other one was a laptop. Oh, yeah. UPS and Lavino. Lemons are expensive. And basically, they stole, or the driver has the zip code coming up incorrect. Literally after it's into the city and onto the truck. Which is kind of impossible for, like, shipping. Like, and if the zip code's incorrect, he has the address and the computer has the address. So it fixes itself in Google. I've done it like 10 times. Everything else that I bought that got delivered from FedEx got here. Same zip code. So, like, I don't know what UPS is doing with their drivers, but the driver on that route is definitely housing stuff. Like, it is not that hard to realize because, honestly, as a kid, I used to do it. So, you recognize boxes. That's, you see a box from Lavino, you know what it is. You see a box from Utilitarian, you know it's a vaporizer. Like, that's, and they open them and take them. Because these boxes were both signature required because the shipper required them signature required because of the fact that they know that they're high price items. Like, I'm trying to stay up to keep from, like, missing me needing a sign for it. And I'm like, running around because I live on the backside, right? So it's like, why not make this easy and not, it has nothing to do with the background check. It's the first thing that I want everybody to understand. Okay? This isn't about background checks, because we currently have federal agents in our own government who have molested children, killed people, done all kinds of horrible things, and they're supposedly good, upstanding citizens, right? What I'm saying is there needs to be another check so that a driver, no matter who he is, at any point in time, can open a package. I don't know what that is. It could be something as a camera in the UPS truck. Like, forget all this live tracking and stuff. Like, just watch the packages. That's all we need to do. Like, point blank. And the footage stays around for at least like a year. Because you never know what happens a year later. In this information age where we are all being charged and used for all the information that we give up, how about some of the companies give back some of that money by using it on things for infrastructure, for security, for things like fraud that we know happen later on, so that even if it does happen, there's a way to prove whom did what. And it's not a complex thing. It's not like you need facial recognition software to have security that we already have in place in most places, which is a little camera, but we don't save the footage. Like, the footage is saved for who knows, like it's dependent upon state, which is kind of stupid. And here we are, and I can't get an item because of a driver stealing it. And it's not like we all have seen the videos where the driver comes up and he takes a picture of whatever and then they steal it. This isn't what that person is doing. This person is actually using something of some aptitude, because when you look at the manifest, you'll see that I just keep getting shipping delays, and it's because my zip code is supposedly incorrect, and the zip code then gets corrected, and then that causes the system to force it to have a redelivery date again of the next day. Naturally, because it's a computer. So I'm kind of a geek and used to be a bit of a criminal, and I like finding holes in systems. And basically, this system has a flaw that when he trips this address correction, it causing it to reship the item, or it in its head retell it to go to the new zip code of a new truck, okay, is giving him time and window of that 2-3 day period when they're trying to deliver it before they're worried about it. It was the supervisor that caught it and said, well, it hasn't moved in 3 days. And I go, yeah, I know. He goes, well, it's probably lost. I'm thinking, no, I've been thinking it's stolen. Like, the only way it's lost, it was in your system moving. The last time it was coming was out for delivery. So I'm not saying, yeah, I am saying my motherfucking driver stole my shit. Like, y'all need to fire that shit and stop it. And it's obviously with the last person it was with. Like, because there's only been one time, and it was actually the job at Sprint in customer service. Yeah. That I was accused at first of stealing something. And it was actually done by my supervisor. And I was exonerated because of the fact that I was a geek. And I love it. Because I remember then, because every computer has something called an internet protocol. An IP address, right? And most of us don't realize that every device, even aside from that IP address, has something called a MAC address on it, right? That is actually the physical hardware device address. It's the only one in the world, right? It's the only one that identifies that particular iPhone, that particular laptop, that particular TV. But nobody realizes this. So when you make a action on that device, it's known that it's that device. Your IP address links back to it. The MAC address links back to it. It's all sending a header and packet information on the internet, okay? Now, even if you don't know what the words I'm saying mean, look them up. Educate yourselves, please. Okay. So now, this man had basically stolen my credentials because he was my supervisor. And logged in at a time when I was not even present in the building. And my other supervisor, because I was actually up for promotion, is the only reason that they even heard me out. Because I think that most people would have been fired. And I was rather surprised that it hit. Tom, if you're out there, thank you and bless you. But Tom goes, you know what? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because you weren't even here. And I go, well, what do you mean? He already knew I wasn't there. He just wanted to question and see whether or not he had to actually question me legally or some crap. And I told him, all you have to do is look and see the IP address because there's no way I did it because I didn't do it. Like, there's no, like, somebody ordered phones and basically sent them to their friend's house, and he sent like 10 Sprint phones. And as we all know, so if you send a $1,000 phone 10 times, hey. And basically the FBI came and arrested him. Long story short, you can always be found is the point. But most of these companies don't want to put in the effort to find it because it costs too much. It costs too much to them. Not to you or I, who then have to, it's just lucky that I actually spin this through financing and through good companies and who are going to refund or challenge whatever item that doesn't come back in a week. Okay, but if I had bought this with my cash, which I know not to do, this is what a credit card is for. A credit card is not to make a purchase to not pay it back in 7 days, in less than your grace period. See, that's the only point of a credit card, is you have the cash available. And the only reason you're using the credit card is to protect yourself from liabilities and issues that arise at going on and making a purchase and transaction through any of these little dumb companies. So no disrespect to UPS, but they need to fix their stuff and their drivers. Thank you to my credit card company. And basically, Purolator's customer service in this has to get a complete F because they don't even realize that the item is missing. Their last chat verbatim told me that it was scheduled to be, no, it had already been dropped off at my scheduled Dropbox thing. Like, you know how the UPS will drop your items off at Michael's or the UPS store. I just set that up so that any other things that aren't being stolen could just be taken there, and there's not even a question of the address or zip code being incorrect. And if that arises, then you need to question that person, is my point. Because I don't see how the zip code is ever incorrect in 2021. Like, that makes no sense. And I don't say that to be funny, but I say that because they're in computers. Like, there's no way. And then after it's said that it's incorrect, it's in your own system by your own notes, you write that it's been corrected and is scheduled for redelivery, which is the loophole in your own system. I'm letting you know. Because then that buys that person whatever time it takes you to schedule the new delivery, at least a 12 to 24-hour window to have you not realize that that item is not moving. When at its last point, if it was out for delivery, how would it be anything else but on the right truck? Because you allowed it to get there at the right address that far. Right? Shouldn't your protocols have caught this earlier? Even though it is the correct zip code. Which is the one thing that kept coming up weird. Like, they keep telling me my zip code's wrong, and I Google it. It comes up weird. I will admit the street is hard to find. And it's only hard to find if you type it in all capitals. as they did in my thing. And I didn't do. Nor did IBM. But they wrote that they corrected the address. Or Livino, which is just IBM to me, so. But basically, they wrote that they corrected the address. Didn't. And now, somebody's got a pretty nice tablet laptop. and a pretty good vaporizer. Like, I just thought about that. Like, dang, yeah, both of them. Yeah, same root. Now there's the little tie-in that at least the supervisor did recognize. And I'm pretty sure that the supervisor from UPS put out a complaint because he can't. You know, they aren't allowed to tell you, so he can't tell you, hey, I'm trying to get whoever fired for whatever. But I'm like, listen, like you can see obviously what I'm implying. Like it's not hidden. Like you see it now. Changing address for 3 days. I didn't change the address. Like, so where'd it go? So, with that, I'd say never mess with Perlator ever in life. Okay? And Utilitarian, I hope I, at some point in time, do get a vaporizer from you. I may have been harsh in the emails with the customer service. Do apologize. A little. Because y'all still pick this company to use. So you have to eat your responsibility as a corporation. And that's just what it is. Because we all have to do that. As people. Point blank. Like, is this just passing the buck crap? That's sad. It's very easy to be accountable and say, hey, I did whatever. I apologize. I'd like to make a restitution, a rectification for that. And move on and be done. It's called growing up adult and being men. Well, in my instance and in theirs, hopefully they'll grow up and progress if they're ever allowed to. But I don't see that happening, especially with the way the economy is now and you're doing stuff like this blatantly. Like, their tech support department and the one supervisor in the customer service department that actually gave me her phone number that I lost. I'm going to be honest about this. I lost the phone number. Because that is what the tech support supervisor said too. It's like, it says in the notes you had her phone number. Yeah, I do. Because I'm going to put all the little chat on here. Because basically this is what this is. And I'm sorry that I'm advocating for the loss of these other people's jobs. But the customer service was so bad that they either need to redo the customer service department. Okay? I did this for a good bit of time. And not one customer service chat agent or phone rep other than the supervisor I spoke with. Okay, and you guys will have note because the little reference number will be up there. So this will pretty much be public info. You can check it. So, tech support supervisor, thank you. The young woman who helped me from customer service, who was the manager, thank you. But you two were the only bright stars in any of this, which is sad. So if you two are supervisors, they ought to promote you up or do whatever they have to do to get more of you. But everybody else who touched my account, if you guys can see it, y'all need to fire their asses. Like, they need to be immediately escorted out of that building and done, because that's what I would do for doing the stuff that they did for no absolute reason. No absolute reason. And it's written. There's the one girl, I asked her before she's trying to disconnect the chat for me supposedly refusing to give me her phone number or my phone number so that she can file this complaint. Been arguing with her, trying to get to file. Okay? She uses the fact that I'm supposedly not going to I'm not going to re-give you the phone number. I just gave it two lines before. And you see it 2 lines before, like literally. Like she asked it again, like she didn't get the chat. And it's written there. And so her cause to disconnect the call, because normally they have to have cause to disconnect something. Which means normally you have to either swear at them, which is the hot buttons. If you swear, I mean like fuck you directly. Swear at them. And racial slurs is immediate cause for disconnection from whatever service. So if you do either two, they have immediate cause to disconnect you. And that's it. But otherwise, you pretty much run that phone call. And it's not a hard thing as long as you're polite and respectful. Like, all they have to do is do what you're asking them to do, which is what they're put there to do. It's not a, like, there is no control dynamic. It's customer service. You're serving that customer. That's it. Like, I have this need to be serviced. So, with Perlator and theirs, I don't get that at all, because I didn't have to fight with the UPS at all, like, about, like, fighting to get it done. No, it may have been slow, it may have been regular customer, like, that's normal. I'm fine with that, but direct disconnection, the verbal abuse I received from the one lady, I did lose my temper and swear at. She knows who she is. Oh yeah. No. Like, it's not necessary. It's not personal. I asked for your supervisor simply because I wanted to say, my stuff has been lost, I need to file a claim. This isn't difficult. This is simply business. I need to file a claim so that when I file with my finance company that paid for this stupid thing, there's no issues. That's my business. I don't have to explain that to you. As per customer service, all I have to do is make a request of so-and-so and fill whatever needs for it. That's it. Right? But with that, I'll edit all this crap, put it all together, because it's a lot of it, because this went on for quite some time. Total probably in a matter of, say, 4 or 5 calls, sitting on chat at the same time, which is why I'm doing this, because most people don't have access to the technology that I use, and basically it's, I'll say, disheartening to see how easy it is for them to do something and then try and make it vanish. And then it would be you at the financial loss of these things if this was your cash. Especially now, which really makes me like, damn, like, so I spend, I'll say, more than $2,000, and I have to fight to find out where it is at any point in time from any company. That's insane. Imagine your bank telling you that $2,000 is lost and they don't know where it is. To call back tomorrow and wait until it's delivered. Everybody have a good day.